Hey, it's Rich Tehrani with TMCnet. Thanks for watching. We're in Silicon Valley this week, and it's our Editor's Day for 2016. And on our program right now is Faraj Aalaei. He is with Aquantia. And Faraj, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Glad to have you. I've known you through a few companies, and I don't think we've ever done video, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
so it's great to have you in the studio and talk a little bit about what you guys are up to.
It's great to finally go Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so a lot happening at Aquantia. As you know, Aquantia is a company that focuses on Ethernet connectivity, high-speed Ethernet connectivity, and some of the most recent work that was done by us is we invented this technology that increases the speed of connectivity within the enterprise fivefold without changing any of the infrastructure. So that's been quite a big hit for us because, quite frankly, it complements the new wireless technologies that are coming along that run a lot faster than gigabit. And this technology allows then the backhaul of that wireless to give it its true true meaning of that kind of speed, right? So we're very excited about that. We've got design wins at almost every name you can imagine in the enterprise networking world, and one of the other nice things about this technology is that it really was a technology that we invented, created, brought in the rest of the industry onto an alliance called the N-base-T Alliance around this technology, and then with the help of the alliance, we brought it into IEEE and made it into an international standard. Just last month in September, IEEE approved this as an international standard. So now customers around the world can actually deploy this technology seamlessly with previous generations of Ethernet and whatever happens down the road in future generations.
Very exciting. So you save companies a lot of money while simultaneously enabling them to be a lot more productive in terms of the throughput in their network.
That's right. Yeah, to think about it, it's the first time in history of connectivity within the enterprise where the wireless speed was actually about to be faster than the wired speed.
Yeah.
And so with this technology that we developed, it kind of corrects that bottleneck again and gives the customers the wireless speed that they believe they're getting by allowing that to kind of flow unimpeded through the network and into the cloud. So
that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's really kind of brings value to higher speed wireless technology.
So let's talk specifics. If I'm an enterprise and I have a network and I am interested in improving the network, speeding it up, increase throughput, what specifically do I buy to allow that to happen?
Yeah, so if you can imagine in an enterprise situation, you've got you got desktop PCs, you got wireless APs sprung all over the place, and then you've got campus switches in the closet, which is the first point that these desktop PCs or these wireless APs connect to. By upgrading your wireless APs or your desktop PCs or your switches, over time you'll be able to build a network that can run at least 5 times as fast as what it does today. And that allows the work obviously to get done faster and much more responsive, much more low latency, and effectively a much more productive work environment as a result.
That's excellent. So in terms of news, is there anything that we should know about that you're able to talk about?
Well, there's some exciting more news coming down the pipe.
Okay.
And within the next several weeks and several months, we hope to continue to be the innovators as we have been over the last several years, bringing change to this industry and improving really the speed of connectivity. The most recent announcement that we just made this last week is the ability to put 8 ports of this technology into a single chip, which is unheard of. So this chip at this point is like 20 gigabit worth of Ethernet traffic going through a single device, and
wow.
Very low power, very low cost, which is very exciting for people who are building high density switches, and it's all part of putting together the pieces of the ecosystem that enables the transition from gigabit to multi-gigabit technology.
And we're not even talking optical in any of these cases, right?
No, in fact, yeah, this is all electrical, because if you think about the environment you work in the buildings, it's all wired up with Ethernet cables. So this is really reusing the infrastructure is there. That's already there, right? And it's going to be almost impossible to rip out. But you talk about optical. One of the other announcements that we just most recently made is about a new technology that we have introduced called quantum stream. And this is now moving out of the enterprise and moving into hyperscale data center, where it was believed up to this point that beyond 50 gig traffic, you can't really use electrical connectivity, copper connectivity, which is the cheapest form of connectivity, obviously. And people felt that going to 100 gig technology, you had to go into optical. And of course, optical is the perfect solution for long reach and long haul type deployments. But to bring all of that complexity for a connection that's going to be just a few meters, it's really kind of too expensive, too much power, and too much effort. So what we set out to do about a year and a half ago is to see how far we could push the connectivity over copper cable. And we were able to really come out and announce this a couple of weeks ago that we have kind of moved the frontier of copper connectivity from 50 gig to 100 gig technology. And that's really important when you build hyperscale data centers, because if you can, most of the traffic in a hyperscale data center, let's say of a Google or a Facebook or any of those guys, most of that traffic is what's called east-west traffic.
Sure.
So that's traffic that goes between the servers within a data center, where it goes from the servers on a rack to the top of the rack. And typically that's about 2 meters. And to bring all the complexity of optical into a connection that only needs to go 2 or 3 meters seemed to us that was just sort of like overblown. And by this innovation, the data center operators will be able to actually connect anything about 3 meters or less over the same copper cable that they're connecting today, thereby reducing the cost, the power consumption, and the latency related to that. And we think that's a huge breakthrough for people who worry about high-speed connectivity in data centers.
And it's so awesome. It's great to hear.
Thank you.
So is there anything else we should know about the company?
Well, like I said, just stay tuned. There'll be a lot more great news coming out of Aquantia, and really our goal and our vision as a company is that we believe that there is 1 billion ports of Ethernet that ships today every year. And most of that billion today is sitting at about 1 gigabit. And what we want to do is to be able to move all of that billion over time, different sectors of the market over time, to higher speed throughput, whether it's 5G for enterprise, whether it's 100G for hyperscale data centers. And there's a lot of innovation left to be done, and ecosystem to fill in around that, and that's what we're busy doing.
That's very exciting. Thanks for being here. Congrats.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.